Morning. I'm Celtic Flare. I know I have a few videos that deal with unwanted bumps in the night. However, I decided to expand the genre of what I do and talk about something that not everyone knows when it comes to me. Actually, it's a world inside of a world almost that not everybody understands. Few know about me because I was dealt a life that not everyone could comprehend. I've told one of my family members in the past, and she immediately thought I was crazy and needed to be hospitalized. Yeah, that was fun. She thought I needed medicine because she couldn't believe that one person could go through the things that I've gone through throughout my life. And the fact that I have an uncanny ability to remember things that are beyond the normal range of thinking, or remembering, I should say. Most children do not remember before they were 5 years old. Somehow I remember all the way up until I was, I believe, 6 months old. The reason why I know is because I shared a memory with my dad before he passed away last year. I said I keep having this weird memory of myself at 6 months old with my mom carrying me in her arms. And I'm looking down the stairs and I see this doorway, and I explained the doorway to him. And he was like, I don't know how you could even remember that. You were 6 months old. But that's exactly where we lived. So that made me know that it wasn't just my imagination, that I was actually recalling these things. But everything that I talk about within these videos, yes, there's going to be more. I'm going to try my best. This is the first one, so my eyes are probably shifting. My body's probably moving because I'm nervous. But, I guess that comes with every video. But not all of the stories that I share are going to be about bad stuff. I have good things that happen to me too, as with most life, unless you're a negative thinker. If you're a negative thinker, then everything that happened to you is bad. If you're a positive thinker, then everything that happened to you is positive because there was an outcome behind it. Anyways, the main reason I wanted to make these videos is to know that regardless, we're all human. We're not alone. There's other people out there that deal with things that are sensitive, that have memories, that have had a childhood. Of course, I grew up in a time where there was CYS, Children and Youth, the people that come into your house when something bad happens and analyze your house to see if your children need to be taken out or not. That was basically something that didn't happen when I was growing up. It didn't happen until I became older, probably in my preteens, I would say. Yes, yeah, I'm forever 21. I'm not telling you how old I am. In fact, I am turning 21 again September, this month. Go figure. Well, anyways, I also want to tell you that abuse is not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. And there's a difference between disciplining your child, disciplining those around you, and abuse. We need to know the difference. I'm not saying that everybody that is watching this video is an abuser. I am just explaining that. I want to just, make that fully clear. Anyways, if I hit home to anyone with anything that I speak about openly, you can leave me a comment. It's okay. Or you can ask me for my Yahoo Messenger. Hey, give me a break. Computers didn't come out until I was 13. Okay? Anyways, if I don't hit home, that's okay too. I am not here to brag or boast, nor do I want pity from anyone. That's not the reason why I'm making these videos either. I have dealt with the skeletons in my life and in my closet already. So that's not why I'm here. Instead, I am simply here to share. And if I help someone, even if it's just one, to understand that life goes on, it's your choice whether you want to take that in a negative way or a positive way. I really don't mind, because your life is your life. But know that when you deal with negative things, we need to evaluate the situation to make sure that we're going to be okay. And we'll deal with that stuff a little bit later. But anyways, as I was saying, I have a very good memory. I might have memories that were younger than that, but when I mentioned the 6-month-old memory, but I'm not going to talk about not being able to move or roll around and, suck on my thumb or poop my pants. You don't need to know any of that. Anyways, carry on. My mom and my dad, it was probably around the time when I was a year old, they got divorced, which happens a lot nowadays, but back then it didn't really happen very much. And if a divorce did happen, then I'm not saying that I was born in the 1950s. I'm not that old. Anyways, it just wasn't natural. And if there was a divorce, the mother usually got the children. Where nowadays they evaluate both the father and the mother, and then they decide who the child needs to go to, blah, blah, blah. We all know that. Anyways, my mom was a very unique person. God bless her soul. She passed away 11 years ago, almost 12. Next May, it'll be 12 years. It's hard to believe that it's been that long. Anyways, when I was growing up, I was not with my mother. The few memories that I have of her holding me is all I have. I did visit her a few times via my father and via myself once or twice, but that was about it. So I grew up in a home with a father that was very, very strict. But also, he also had 2 other children, which are my half brothers. I'm not going to say any names. And he had to pay child support for them, and he had to take care of myself and my brother. So he worked a lot when we were very young because he worked a lot, and I guess work was more important. We were sent to different homes. I call them foster homes because in these homes, my father was not around. It was us living in a house with different people, with somebody that was taking care of us. This person, I am not going to say any names for that either. Let's just call her Elizabeth. Elizabeth was a good person. She was very kind to us, very kind when we were younger. Young, when she first got us. Things changed quite a lot. That is my phone ringing. Uh-oh, it's the school. Hello? Yes, ma'am? Oh, hi. Yes, it has. Well, I kind of had to take that, so I paused the video. Anyways, what I was saying, if I can remember what I was saying. Oh, yes, I was talking about the foster home that I was in. It was quite unique, in fact. It was a place in Ohio, I will tell you that much. And she had a couple children of her own. And next door, her mother and her brother lived. Her mother and her mother's brother lived in the next house. They didn't come in until later on in life, well, not in life, but later on in the picture, because I believe my brother and I were there for 4 years, like 3 or 4 years we were there. One memory I remember the most is having a temper tantrum. I was 2 or 1.5, 1.5, 2. I'm a baby. I'm still in the crib. What do you expect? Anyways, all babies have temper tantrums. It's just part of life. Anyways, but what isn't part of life is the way she corrected me. The way she corrected me wasn't a correction at all. It was an abusive tactic because I had the tendency when I was put in the crib because I didn't want to be there, I would crawl out. She didn't like that. And one night I was having a pretty good temper tantrum. I was crying. I was upset. So she put me in the crib, and instead of just letting me lay there after she scolded me and told me I wasn't allowed to come out into the living room, she grabbed a pair of silver police-sanctioned handcuffs and handcuffed me to the crib. That is something that I'll never forget. And it's nothing really to smile about. But at the same time, I'm over it. It's not something that beats me up every day. It's not something that I took as a direct insult to me, and nor did I use that as an excuse of why I am the way I am. I never did any of that stuff. It's just not me. Anyways, I do remember being handcuffed to the crib quite a lot, actually, after that, because she realized I couldn't get out of bed, aka the crib. I do remember not understanding why it was happening to me. I do remember the feeling of confinement, like I was in a cage instead of in a crib. Some people believe, a lot of people believe, that children don't necessarily care. They're just children and they just cry and to cry, and their emotions are different. And yes, their emotions are different. But the reason why their emotions are different is because they depend on the person that's taking care of them to take care of them. They depend on those people that are put in their lives to make sure that they're safe and in an environment that feels secure and feels warm. I didn't feel that when I saw for the first time those cuffs on my hand, on my wrist. I tried to get out of it and I couldn't. I tried to pull them off. I couldn't. Oh my goodness gracious. What is going on today? I am really starting to hate this phone, and you know what I'm going to do is I am going to put this on silent. All right. Now it's not going to bug us anymore. Anyways, what I was saying, it gave me a sense of dread. When someone does that to a child, they think, maybe, I don't know, I don't abuse my children, but my opinion is that they think that's the only way that they can stop something from happening that they don't want to happen anymore. But it's the exact opposite of what it's supposed to convey in an adult's mind than it is in a child's mind. To think that I was handcuffed, I didn't know what they were. I just knew that they were silver. One end was clasped to the crib bar and the other end was clasped to my wrist. I tried everything. And when I realized that I could not move, the only way that I could really explain it is that it was a bit traumatizing. It traumatized me because I didn't know why it was happening to me. I didn't know why the people that were supposed to love me and take care of me, even if they were foster care, even if it was foster care, even if it was just a family friend, it didn't even have to be foster care. It could be just a grandma or an aunt. But in this case, I called it a foster home. This is how I felt. Because I was young, I had no idea by this time that I had a father, because I thought my life was in that household. And we were there, like I said, for about 3 years, 4 years we were there. I remember about a year or two, I was about 5 years old when my dad decided to come get us. But when we're dealing with children, we need to understand that they don't think the same way that an adult does. If you're going to hurt them, it's going to traumatize them. It's going to hurt them. Some people aren't strong and they aren't built up inside. They don't have self-esteem. They don't have self-pride. They don't have like that sense of I can get through everything. Not everybody has that. Not everybody is adaptable. And when you knock a child down like that from the time that they're young, it breaks them down little by little. And it starts with trauma. It starts with an unknowing of why. But as a baby, as a child, as a toddler growing up, you forget. You forget until it happens again, which it did happen again. It happened several times. And then it came to the thought of, I'm going to bed. Am I going to wake up with those things on my wrist, that thing on my wrist again, so I can't get out of bed? I didn't know. It became normal. So in essence, we can't blame the child for not speaking up, because when something becomes normal, they think everybody goes through it. So they don't speak up because that's their life and that's what they think is normal. I'm not going to, there's a lot of things that happen in that house, basically. I'm not going to go through all of them today or in this video because there's a lot to deal with. And the reason, again, why I'm sharing this is because I want people to understand that not everybody has a loving mom and dad. Not everyone has a life that's secure. The point is to understand, acknowledge the fact, if it did happen to you, what happened to me. I'm not saying the same thing happened to you. But if something similar happened, we need to know the thought, accept the thought, and then let the thought go. And we need to carry on with our lives. What happened to us in the past is not anybody's fault. It's not your fault, except for the people that were the abusers or the person that was the abuser. It's not your fault. Everybody around you is not going to abuse you because something horrible happened to you when you were a kid. There is hope. There is a knowledge. There is hope. There's the earth and everything around it. There's good people. Some of people are a lot of lost, if you know what I mean. Like the ones that like to, pick it. I was going to say, or dress up like a VG. Okay. If anybody understood that, kudos to you. But I can talk about this and I can smile. I can smile because it happened. I couldn't control it. I dealt with it. And I pushed through it. Because I will tell you, when I get done with telling you everything that happened to me, I will also share something else with you that is positive. Each time I make a video, I'll make sure that I say something positive. And please don't think it's odd that I smile, because you know what? In the end, everything that has happened to me, I'm happy. I have a beautiful family. And that I may not be healthy. I am a little sick, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But I'm happy, and I don't really have anything to complain about. I have financial issues sometimes, like this month because I bought a car. Anyways, but I'm going to get through it. Yes, it's a little hiccup. I meant to say hurdle, but then I thought of hiccup, so I said a hurkle. So guess what? I am so writing that word down. If I can find something to write with, that's going to be my go-to word. They're not hurdles or hiccups. They're hurkles. I totally write that down. Okay. Well, anyways, if you have any comments about the video, don't hesitate. But if you're going to be nasty, purposely nasty, know that it's not going to hurt me inside. I'm probably going to laugh at it. No, most likely I'm going to laugh at it because I'm going to say, wow, I'm so glad that person has a stick up his butt or her butt, that they think that they can damage my way of thinking by saying something stupid to make themselves look stupid and not me. Anyways, I'm going to go for today. You guys are wonderful. For anybody that watches this video, know that you woke up today, and because you woke up today, you're breathing, you're walking. There's sun, there might be rain, the wind, the trees. I can hear the trees rustling outside. It's a beautiful sound. Be happy. Think positive. It's not always easy to think positive. And on those days that we don't think positive, and it seems to be all negative, just remember, what you give out is what you attract. Have a good day.